Mouseketeers and Mouseketeerettes. Welcome everyone to Classic Game Room. This is Derek from Classic Game Room, and I'm about to review a game. I don't usually do this, but I wanted to preempt the review with a bit of a disclaimer. I'm about to review a game. Look at this game. This doesn't even look like a real game. Look at it. Focus on the game. Look, doesn't even look real. It's called Fantasia. Looks like a knockoff you would find in your cereal box in 1993. It was sent to us by our friend Scott from San Jose, California. And I want us all to thank Scott for sending this, partly because Scott broke my heart with this game, because anything that's Mickey that sucks breaks my heart. So thanks for that, Scott. Everyone's gonna get to hear me really upset over the next few minutes, so that we all have you to thank. But I suppose you're also a humanitarian, Scott, because now I can warn everyone not to ever play this game. For the love of God, if you ever see this game, avoid it like the plague. This is the worst Disney game, and it came at a time when Disney games were really good. Watch the goddamn review! So, this piece of crap was released in 1991, exactly 1 year after Sega released the Mickey Mouse classic, Castle of Illusion. So in retrospect, it seems pretty obvious what was going on here. This was the cash-grabbiest cash grab since cash came to grab town. Make an incredibly cheap game, people will think, hey, another game like Castle of Illusion. Then they buy this piece of crap. Somebody should be in prison for this. This is, bar none, the worst platformer I've ever played. Like, it's not even a competition anymore. Game over. And it breaks my heart. Because like I said, this is back when Disney games were legitimately great. Not only that, but I just love Disney. And to do something this horrendous with a name as sacred as Fantasia. Holy crap, man. That's sacrilege. So you play as Mickey Mouse, or I guess as Dream Mickey. Platform through 4 worlds, and then you get the lamest ending in the history of video games. Or one of them at least. But by that time, your brain's so fried, you won't even notice. In fact, you'll just be glad that it's all over. The pissing all over Fantasia. It's finally over. So this game's problems are many. Honestly, this is one of the first video games I've ever reviewed in which I don't have a single positive thing to say about it. Fantasia doesn't do a single thing well, but the biggest problem is the gameplay. This game is so broken. It's as close to unplayable as a game can get without literally being on fire. And controlling Mickey is just, it's inconceivably clunky. Not only is he slow, but he also does this weird pause when you try to jump. So like, instead of just jumping when you hit the button, he bends down first, which, to be fair, is actually more realistic. And, when you're playing a game about jumping on magical broomsticks, that's what you want. You want realism. I've honestly never played a platformer in which jumping was more of a mess. You have those weird pauses, Mickey floats around like he's on the moon, there's just no precision in this game whatsoever. And that's kind of a big problem on its own, even without the level designs, which obviously demand precision. So, you've got awful mechanics and levels that are insanely difficult. It's actually one of the hardest games I've ever played, which is, that's just adding insult to injury at this point. This is ridiculous. And one of the most annoying things about Fantasia is its hit detection. It's like, you couldn't try to make a game this bad. At some point, your conscience would kick in. So there are enemies all over the freaking place. They come out of thin freaking air. If you want to stomp them, you have to hold down on the directional pad as you're coming down. Otherwise, you take damage. But who cares? You'll take damage anyways, because the hit detection's only ever half right at best. It's a platformer that can't tell if you're jumping on the enemies. That's like being a librarian who doesn't understand the Dewey Decimal System. That totally defeats the whole purpose. And the presentation isn't any better. The graphics are just terrible. And the use of colors, like, it's seriously, like, some 5-year-old just randomly chose some crayons and then ate the crayons and pooped out Fantasia. And the music's just as bad, which is actually amazing. How a game could possibly make this music this bad. It's unbelievable, this game. Listen, in good conscience, I can't recommend this game to anyone. Not even Disney fans. Actually, especially not Disney fans. Believe me, it craps all over your heart. If you want some classic Disney platforming, you have plenty of options. And all those classics, they still play like a dream. Fantasia's more like a nightmare.